Peace, everyone. Today's message is detachment allows room for expansion. This was just a message that was poured on my heart by the divine, and we're going to get right into it. The very first card that came up is the magician, and that symbol above its head to me is signifying as above, so below, right? The ever evolving consciousness of self, the experiences, and what we are co creating. I'm being told to speak of an experience I had where I was shown the myself, the conscious self, not from the physical vessel, but the formless self, where we're constantly creating. And it's a flow of images, right? What are you choosing to focus on? What are you choosing to actively create in your reality? You think of something you're creating, right? The more that you spend time on this thought, the more attention to detail you place on this thought, the more that you're able to create this in your reality. Okay. And this beautiful crystalline flow that I was being shown was, it was showing me, information that was embedded on like a soul level, right? So very much native ancestral knowledge, even, love for the reflection of self. There's been a lot of beautiful experiences um, that I've experienced, but also this is saying that what you can create in your reality, the magician. This is the chance for you to start anew, and don't be attached to it, right? Like, this is what needs to happen. This is how it needs to happen. Understanding when you are co-creating with the universe, with the divine, this is you participating in that co-creation process. But ultimately, the divine God, has the final say on how it's going to play out in your life. But this is where you're putting in like your wishes, your petition, right, to what you would like to experience in your life, what you would have. And when we limit the way that it can come to us, that can be very staggering, and delay things. So the next card that came up is like the Fool. This is a card where, yes, the Fool is new beginnings, new journey. And in this to me is speaking of being inner childlike, very light. It doesn't mean that you aren't aware, right, of um, any any anything that can be treacherous within a journey, right? This is not where there is an ignorance of the child. And I'll explain that because this is like breathing again. This is like being reborn, okay? And allowing the world and the sun to finally bless you and reflect to you what your consciousness has been trying to express to you this entire time, okay? That you're not limited by your traumas. You're not limited by the experiences that you've had. You're not limited even by the people in your surroundings, right? This is time where it's like, I want to venture out. I want to try something new. Do it. Show up for yourself. Um, we have the Seven of Wands, right? The Seven of Wands speaks to, someone being attacked, but ultimately having the upper hand, right? From oppositional energies, right? So those that want to be an enemy to you, those that have um essentially been involved in like gang stalking energies, they have, at this point, they have no power. So it doesn't matter how many of them gang up, you have the vantage point. And the vantage point is because you're aligned with the divine. The vantage point is you understanding um that this journey is being reborn. You're understanding that even though certain, fears, right, which is false evidence appearing real, may be arising in your mental space. This is like, okay, and the reason why I'm saying in the mental space is because we have to be very aware that a lot of these spiritual attacks, even though, yes, may be physical, can also be very much on a mental level, trying to keep you in a disempowered state, not straight, cancel that statement, or cancel that word, keep you in a disempowered state, right? Because if it can get you to believe that, oh, your life isn't going to get any better, if it can get you to believe, right, these oppositional energies that you're going to just be suffering, that this endless suffering, you're consenting to that. That is a form of co-creation as well. So what you're understanding is you're seeing these fears, false evidence appearing real. You're seeing these thoughts and concerns, and you understand that the aspect of you that has gone through trauma, is stuck in a particular position because it hasn't seen the good, fully come into manifestation as what you would like to experience. So what you're saying is, you know what? I know that I'm being given a blank, canvas. And for me to draw on this canvas, ultimately what I would like to experience, what I desire to experience. So you sit here and you see this aspect of yourself that's wounded, right? And the aspect that has been traumatized because of these attacks. And you can see where these oppositional energies are trying it. And you say, okay, you know what? Thank you for the acknowledgement of your concern, but you know what? It's not going that way. And now this is where you infuse light. This is where you add light to the situation. This is where you do your I was gonna say information, affirmations, not information, affirmations. This is where you do your visuals. Right? Your dreaming board. This is where you not only facilitate your dreaming boards, but now you're really believing this. You're sitting with it, right? Believing that it can actively happen, and not being attached to how it's supposed to come, the outcome, because I think that's very important. When we are attached to the outcome, it can delay us. So you're taking this, you're taking these concerns, and you're saying, you know what, that's false. I'm pouring light. You know what? I'm pouring into myself. I'm going to be so grateful for what I have in the present moment. I'm going to tend to my vessel. I'm going to tend to my mind. I'm going to tend to my spirit. I'm going to be making sure that I'm moving, that I'm feeding myself healthy, that I'm taking care of myself, my self-care. I'm doing the things ultimately that have been placed on my heart's desire, for the day. I'm allowing myself to have fun. I'm allowing myself to believe. The next card, and I can't fully show it, because it's just is the star. Okay, but y'all see here is the star. Okay, and in the star, to me, this is about you tending to your garden. This is about you being in the present moment. This is about you acknowledging what you need in your life. I know that for me, I love the spiritual work. I love the messages and the insights that I get from the divine, and it is life for me. But what I've realized more than anything at this point, and I'm going to always do this. This is going to be till, even past, my transition phase to the other side. I'm gonna just be doing work for the all that is all. Okay. Anyways, I realized that at this point and stage within my life, I just need unconditional love. Okay. From my reflection, and I'm allowing myself to focus on what I need, my spirit needs. See, we get so caught up in what, the future has for us, or oh, I need to pay these bills, or I need to have this, I need to have that, right? Which is all, just false constructs of the system, anyways, right? To keep people in a disempowered state, to keep people in a state of desperation. Guess what? No, honey. And so, as you're allowing yourself to really nurture the aspects of yourself that need to come to the forefront, what you are doing is now tending to your garden. And as you're busy tending to your garden, guess what? The world, the world, y'all see that? Is going to open up for you. This is where, because I made it was like this message I had, I think it was like for the week, is where action meets alignment. But it's not action based off of like desperation, right? So let's say you're like marketing or something like that, and you're like, oh, here, like I'm not enjoying the present moment. I'm not, in the present moment because I need, it's like a certain sense of desperation, right? You know what I mean? Even in taking that action. This is like, no, like, you know what? I have a desire to, go out exploring the town, somewhere in the state that I'm in. And today I'm going to explore the town, and you know what? If I run into someone that, we have a really good conversation, or I feel divinely pulled to get them, to tell them about the services that I offer, or something like that. What I'm saying is you're putting out there the fact that you're, what, this is my agenda. But if I'm meant to make an alignment today, right? While I'm tending to my garden, if it's meant to happen, it's going to come to me with ease and grace. I don't have to force this into becoming, because what is meant for me is going to be aligned with me in ease and grace. So y'all, the world experience is going to be changing for you as you allow yourself to be detached from the outcome, as you allow yourself to be detached. This is where there's room for expansion. This is where I feel, the divine has been trying to get a lot of people in the collective, in the collective, excuse me, because the spirit was saying something. There's a lot of y'all that like to be that like to stay hidden in the house. Okay, you need to be like the star and allow yourself to be seen. Okay, allow your whimsical child, that fool like energy, to let the world see that even though they may be going through some things, you are in your own beautiful, beautiful garden. You are in your own beautiful oasis and you are just dancing, enjoying life. Okay. So the next card that came out is the Two of Cups. All right. To me, this is speaking to a union that is overflowing with love. This is like speaking to marriage potential. I'm not sitting here saying some of y'all gonna be getting married, even though some of y'all might be. Okay, because as you are loving yourself, that reflection typically comes in. Okay, I'm just saying. This is, speaking to, I feel like courtship, right? But courtship of self, courtship with life, because again, it's right after the world, and then there is kind of like a lion with wings. I feel like your primal self is getting upgrades. I feel like this is where, your primal self is allowing the divine feminine, the divine masculine energies within, the ability to like fly while like it's watching over, Um, and there is an exchange of energies. I feel like, with the way that um the card is displaying, you can see the man offering the woman something. So I feel like this is where now your divine masculine is coming out. It's going to be offering you things, giving you things, right, making the situation more pleasurable for you both. The Ace of Cups came out, and to me this is contentment, this is joy, this is peace in your life experience. This is you coming to the forefront, excuse me. So again, this is like joy, peace, all these beautiful things coming to the forefront. This is speaking to the abundance because again, you are so busy tending to your garden that abundance is just going to be overflowing because there's no way that you are tending to the vessel of the divine, the all that is all. Okay, the vessel that the all that is all entrusted, into your care, and it not be abundant, it not be, fruitful. Come on. If we're being honest, the creator is abundant. The creator is fruitful. You are the creation of the creator. Never forget that. And if you are a creation of the creator, understand that you've been given co-creator abilities. You've been given the ability to be abundant because you you don't come from abundance to then operate in lack. That's not how it works, honey, not at all. Okay? Understand that it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. We have like the Eight of Wands. I feel like this is a lot of wishes coming true. I feel like this is um you know fulfillment. I feel like this is speaking to, this also can mention like love darts. So I feel like there is definitely love in the air. Okay, like I don't know if you feel it, y'all, but the love is strong. And it's because again, you've been working on that self-love, so love is just in the air and love is here. Are you going to accept it by the hand? Are you going to allow yourself to dream? This is where we at, collective. Take care from me and spirit.